Bum bada bum bum bada bum bum bada bum bum bada bum 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 bum. Christmas time, Christmas time, Christmas time. You gotta love it. Ho, ho, ho. Let's see what's going on here. Make sure everything's coming up right. First of the show, already got a bell in. Yes! That is exactly what I want. Do. There we are. Get the videos. Boom. Here we go. Kick that down. Move to the page, man. Come on. Bring it over. Here we go. Look at that. Got a bunch of people on there. Oh, transition over so you guys can see me. Whew. Bam. Hey, AJ. Good to see you, buddy. Merry Christmas. Very Merry Christmas. Richard, hello. Nikki, hello. You know you like my radio voice, Nikki. You know you like it. Don't be jealous. Merry Christmas to you, Belinda. And Dawn. Let me see here. All right, so we got 2 minutes before the show starts. Getting things going, getting things set up. You guys have anything that you need to tell me? You can. It's all right. Got a big show tonight. It's going to be fun. Got Ron chatting over on the text messages telling me he needs to build me a background. Yes, you do, Ron. Yes, you do. But then again, I'd have no place to store it if you did. And by you, I'm sure you meant Brad. Oh, man. Let me see. All right, cool. Look at that. Everything coming up just right. Never call you Nikki? Okay, I'm sorry, Nicole. I will never call you Nikki again. Nicole it is. All right. Checking through. Everything looks good. Looks like we will be back on and through here in the next couple seconds. Here, let me click that over. Bam. Everything's packing nicely. Merry Christmas, Deborah. All right. 20 seconds in, and, we'll be making this work. Catch you on the other side when the show starts. Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism, soon to be Defenders Live, because we're live, and that's kind of the deal there. We are on Mojo 50 Radio exclusively. You can also go to our Facebook page over at DOA Show on the Facebooks, and Mojo 50 Radio on the Facebooks as well. You can join us on the video feeds for that, or the YouTube pages, which we are still there somehow. I don't know how, but somehow we are there. Limited licensing agreements and everything else involved on that case. Crazy. And you can find us on pretty much every other social media. We're on Parler News now at DOA Show. We're at the Mojo 50's page on MeWe. We have our own page on MeWe. Everything else is going on. It's a crazy, crazy time. And I tell you what, January is going to be even better. It's going to be so much better. So much better. You just gotta wait. You can't wait. I gotta wait. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be outstanding. Speaking of, let me see here. Yes, Donna, Defenders Live. That's how it's gonna go. Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody. I say Merry Christmas because, well, it's American. That's kind of the point. It is American, and that is all that you need to know. I gotta say, kind of feels nice. Feels nice right now. I don't know what I don't know how about you guys, but feels nice to have some of the government shut down. I mean, gosh. If only like we could pull up like a Christmas Carol or something, and we could, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the Senate House, not a creature was stirring, not even those rat bastards that run everything on the government. Because they're not there. They're not there right now because they're all on Christmas break until next Thursday, which is great, except for the fact that we're still paying for them. Which is, I guess, whatever, right? Whatever. But you know what? The government is going to shut down. The government shut down. Everything's gone. We're all going to die in a fiery pit. The world is, as we know it, is slowly crumbling away as the government is just not funding anything. We don't have any roads anymore, as you saw when you went to go get your Christmas gifts today. Nothing is going on. It's worse than ever before. Taxes are not being taken. Our government officials are not working. Our president is not in the White House. Well, he's probably not in the White House. I think he's like in Florida or something at Mar-a-Lago or whatever he's doing, but it doesn't really matter because it's not true. So if you go by the stories, a quote, significant portion of the government shutdown at midnight on Friday, and the House and the Senate adjourned without reaching an agreement on a new spending bill. Lawmakers are now waiting on a negotiated deal between legislative leaders and President Donald Trump to fund the Department of Homeland Security, Treasury, Commerce, State, Housing and Urban Development, Agriculture and Interior, as well as the General Services Administration and the Environmental Protection Agency and various other smaller agencies. You see, a government shutdown isn't actually a government shutdown. It is a shutdown of 10%. 10%. Well, probably roughly like 12%, but 10% of our government. All non-essential employees, people that we don't need to have on a daily basis for the government to continue running. That means our military is still getting paid. All benefits are still getting paid out to everybody that's there. Is it 8%, Donna? It's 8%. Okay, good. 10%. Okay. 8%, 10%. Rounding. Gotta love it. So all your benefits are still getting paid to your peoples. The VA is still working. Our army, our militaries are still out there, still doing their job. Everything is still going just fine. Except for the fact that there is a small portion of our government who are considered non-essential people who are no longer getting funding. And by the way, they're not actually not getting funding. They're just on vacation until this new continuing resolution passes, at which time they will get back pay for every day that they didn't show up because of this, quote, government shutdown. It cost us more in the end to do this government shutdown than it does save us anything. Or at least it cost us the same at any rate. I say more because they're not actually doing anything, but at the same point in time, on these people, I don't want them to do anything. So I guess they're getting paid to do exactly what I want them to do, which is nothing. But I digress. You know what? There are some people that I do want to do, that I do want to have doing something, and that is a good, the great folks over at Tar River Arms. That's traguns.com. They've been producing great Christmas sales. If you are looking for a new gift, a better gift, a gift for yourself, a gift for your husband or wife or spouse or child that is old enough to have a gun, go to Tar River Arms. That's traguns.com. tragun.com, you can find some of the best deals out there. Plus, they have a 3-dimensional high-resolution imaging system. So every gun that you look at, every article that you look at, everything that you see, you can zoom in, you can rotate it, you can do a 3-dimensional view, you can see every aspect. Everything except for holding the gun in your hand is available to you on that website. Plus, most of the guns that they sell, they pay all the brokering fees and no shipping. So no shipping cost, and they pay all the brokering fees up front, or they send you a gift card so that you can pay it when you're there at the store. They have some great deals going on. It's great guns, great prices, and great service. If you don't believe me, hear it from the horse's mouth. Go back a few shows where I had the owner of Tar River Arms here in studio with me. Go check it out. You'll love the entire show. He is on point. Anyway, back to the story. A Senate motion to proceed for a quote a Senate quote motion to proceed for a House bill on continuing resolution, which means that they're not actually doing a budget. A continuing resolution is kicking the can down the road again through February 8th, which means that it'll only be about a month long. That will include a $5.7 billion wall budget, which, by the way, if you guys haven't kept up, the GoFundMe page for the building wall is now at $15 million. $15 million. That thing has exploded. It was held open for a record 5 hours and 18 minutes on the afternoon of December 21st and ending in a 48-47 vote. Basically, what they've done is they pushed it to the very last minute. Very last minute. And then they did a little vote, so nobody could second motion, or nobody could do anything else additional. None of that mess could go on. So, nothing going on there. Now, here's some things that really bother me about this. We have a law in place that says that we are supposed to build a wall. That law has been in place since, I believe, if I remember right, it was, who was it? It was Clinton. It was Clinton, I believe. They passed a bill saying that they were going to build a wall on the border, and this was, Democrat funded and everything else, and they put up a fence, and that was stupid. Yes, they do have, TRA has lovely Kimbers for you ladies out there. It is great. So we have a law in place that says that we're supposed to have a wall built, and we still don't have a wall since Clinton. Not so good. And then you have these people that are talking about everything that's going on and saying that they're not going to build a wall, and it's harsh to build a wall and everything else. But, we know for a fact that these people voted for building a wall back in the day. It's now just a different issue. And you have the millennials that are very open borders people backing them up. I really hate my generation for that. Oh, gosh. But with everything else going on, here's what you need to understand. This is not a government shutdown. A government shutdown would mean that the government is currently not running at all. This is an executive branch shutdown. This is a shutdown of certain offices in the executive branch that are non-essential, mean absolutely nothing to our government or how it processes on a daily basis. That is it. And that means that these people need to be closed. Mr. President, anything that is currently in the government shutdown, you should probably be able to close it. HUD, state to state can do that. Don't need it. Department of Homeland Security, nope. We don't need that either. That was Bush 2. That was Bush 2, and we didn't need it then, and we don't need it now. Get rid of it. Department of Treasury, okay. But that stuff is actually still technically working. They're still working on these things. So, all of his cabinet offices are still working. It's just the underlings in these departments that are not doing anything. But I digress. There are some lawmakers that have stood up and they're doing the right thing. By that, I mean Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Wait, am I reading that right? Yeah. Yeah, Representative-elect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted on Saturday, quote, "It's completely unacceptable that members of Congress can force a government shutdown on partisan lines and then have congressional salaries exempt from that decision." I agree. Except for that, it's a partial government shutdown, and so it doesn't really matter, and they're necessary, although generally they're not supposed to be, but okay, I gotcha. More from this article. More than 420,000 federal workers who are considered essential work without pay during the shutdown, which is a lie. Those employees will eventually receive payback. Exactly. They're not working without pay. Another 380,000 government employees are furloughed and home without pay. No, they get paid. It's like vacation. It's the same thing. The shutdown went into effect at midnight Friday after the Senate could not pass a legislation that included a $5 billion for the U.S.-Mexico border wall. The House passed the legislation on Thursday after President Trump said earlier that he was, I got it. On Twitter, a couple others. Representative Dave Joyce of Ohio, he's a Republican. He said that, quote, "Can't keep the government fully operated? We shouldn't get paid." And, quote, "It's that simple," he said in a tweet, which included a letter to the chief administrative officer to Philip Kiko. Wow, that's a bad name for that guy, Kiko. That's okay, though. Representative Elise Stefanik, Elise Stefanik, a Republican in New York, which is a Democrat, also said on Twitter that she submitted a letter Saturday requesting her pay be withheld during the shutdown. And in the article, you can see that she actually copied the letter and posted it up in her Twitter feed. Catherine Cortez Masto said on Twitter that she did not want to be paid either. Sadly, the President Trump has brought our country into yet another crisis right before the holidays. Quote, this is a quote, guys. This is a quote. We should be working together to end this shutdown, end quote, said the Nevada governor, Catherine Cortez Masto. She added, quote, "I cannot take a salary during a government shutdown knowing that so many federal workers in Nevada and across the country will go without pay. I'll be donating my salary to the Nevada charity for every day of the Trump shutdown." Well, what charity is the Nevada charity? I mean, I'm just like, what is that? Is that like, what's his face? The, Al Sharpton giving money to his charity and his work? I don't think so. Probably not. I hope not, because if it is, it's going to be a problem for you. I'm just saying. It's going to be an issue. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway. So the government is shut down, sort of. Yeah, the government's not closed either. So don't worry about that. Right, yeah. I know, it's funny. Like, somehow or another, every now and again, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gets one on the right. But I think that's just because she's trying to be that anti-authoritarian, anti-administrative person. Yeah, it's not like they won't get paid. Yeah, exactly. They'll get paid exactly what they're doing right now. It's when people say government shutdown, it's nothing. It is nothing at all. It is exactly zero. It is zero. It means nothing to anybody except a big news story, an article. It's terrible. But, all that aside, something that we all need to do is we need to relax. Okay? And one of the best ways you can relax, and especially that I can relax, is by playing the Right On game. If you go to rightongame.com, use the promo code MOJO, you get 10% off on your purchase. Trigger warning, microaggressions are contained in the box. If you're a millennial snowflake or a snowflake at all, you will be offended by its content. My recommendation is to retreat to your safe space, because that is the only recommendation. Now, you on the right, you people listening right now that are still here, still listening, you'll get a kick out of this. If you buy the package, if you go buy the box, rightongame.com, use a promo code MOJO, get 10% off, get it shipped to your house, and you take a video of you playing it with your family over this holiday season, and you post it to the Right On Games Facebook page. They're having a contest right now. The prize is very simple. It's an Amazon Echo Show worth about $130 and a gift card for $25 if you become first place. They're going to decide on who's the best video with the best reactions and the best play. Go to rightongame.com. Use the promo code MOJO for 10% off. Why? Because mocking the left feels so right. Now, mocking the left is great, but this is not something to mock the left about. And by that, I mean this is something to definitely mock the left about. 2 female Christian artists could be in jail for not creating art for a same-sex wedding. 2 female Christian artists in Arizona have refused to make a custom art piece for a same-sex wedding, and they could actually be jailed for sticking to the religious beliefs. This is great for them. This is exactly what you're supposed to do if you are a person of faith. You are supposed to stick to your guns no matter what, jail, whatever, it doesn't matter. So kudos to them, because that is amazing. That shows a lot of balls. Joanna Duca and Brianna Koski, who own Brush and Nib Studio. They make custom artwork using paint, calligraphy, hand lettering. They filed a lawsuit against the city of Phoenix as a Phoenix city ordinance threatened them with up to 6 months and or a fine of $2,500 each day they refuse to make a certain piece of artwork. First, the woman filed in state court to overturn the ordinance, but lost in a court in a court of appeals, prompting them to appeal the state to the state's Supreme Court, which said on November 20th it will hear the case. So this case is going to the state Supreme Court. This is from the ADF, the Alliance Defending Freedom. By the way, if you guys don't know about the ADF, Alliance Defending Freedom, those guys are top notch. They do everything that you would want them to do to defend your freedom of speech and defend these people that are actually doing right by their own faith. The petition asks for, quote, does Phoenix violate the Arizona's Constitution's free speech clause when it forces commissioned artists to create custom artwork consisting of words and paintings, conveyed messages they object to, and when it bans commissioned artwork from publishing a statement explaining the artwork they can and cannot create? Does Phoenix violate Arizona's Free Exercise of Religion Act when it uses criminal penalties, including jail time, to force commissioned artists to create custom artwork expressing messages to violate their own sincerely held religious beliefs when it bans religiously motivated speeches? The petition added, their Christian beliefs forbid them from creating custom artwork that conveys a message condoning, supporting, or participating in activities or ideas that violate their religious belief. For example, they cannot create artwork expressing messages that contradict biblical truth, demean others, or endorse racism or incites violence. This is where they stand. This is the hill that these women are willing to die on. The ADF Senior Counsel Jonathan Scruggs stated at the time that the state Supreme Court agreed to hear the case, the government must allow artists to make their own decisions about which messages they will promote. Joanne and Brianna are happy to design custom artwork for anyone. They simply object to being forced to pour their heart, soul, imagination, and talent into creating messages that violate their own conscience. I mean, if you don't understand that, if you truly don't understand that doing something like this that violates your conscience, violates your own morals and your own personal understanding of faith, what are you doing in this country? Because you're not standing up for freedom. You're not standing up for rights if you believe that you are able to force these women to do what you want them to do just because you are in a semi-protected class now based on some socialist understanding of unequal rights and personage. I mean, you're gay. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. That is none of my business. My business is to talk to you. My business is to tell you my beliefs, my convictions, my faith. To help you understand as best as possible in this world, in the time that I am given, how I see the world and how I view it, and the truth that I know to be true. Because I'm not always correct. That's why I rely on a higher power to tell me what is right and what is wrong. Because I, just like everybody else, yeah, homosexuality is a sin. But I've been a liar. I've stolen things before. I've said the Lord's name in vain. Those are all bad sin. Those are all sin. It doesn't matter what it is. They're sin. They're all sin. And it's equal. And just like that, I don't have to judge you by your sin. But I will not let you force me to take your opinion. Hold on, folks. We will be right back. Oh, man, look at that. Okay, cool. Check it out. Oh. I don't know. See, Nicole, that's a great question. Why is it so important for them to know that I know how they get their willy-jilly bedroom on? I don't know. By the way, nice one. I don't know why they feel like it's so important. It's like being vegan, I guess. It's the same idea. You know, how do you know somebody's vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. How do you know somebody's gay? Don't worry, they'll tell you. And they'll force you to celebrate their gayness. No, that's not always true. It's not always true. We've had a guest on, Riaz Patel. He is a homosexual man. He has a husband. He has adopted children, and he is a great person. He spent the last 2 years basically trying to understand the right and understand freedom and understand why we believe that the way that we believe. And he is one of the few, it's a growing number, hopefully, that understand that you don't have to push it. And you know what? Not everybody's going to celebrate it. And you know what? It's okay. We're all individuals. It used to be stay out of my bedroom. Now it's pay for my pay for this girl's pills, pay for this boy's puberty blockers, pay for condoms, pay for everything else. Oh, and don't forget that this person likes anal. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And we're back. That's right, you're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism, soon to be Defenders Live. So I don't have to say that entire phrase every single night. You can go to our website, doaeshow.com. doaeshow.com. You can get this awesome shirt, or you can get, if I can pull it out from behind me, this awesome hoodie. Ta-da! Yes! It is amazing. I love it. I've been wearing it all weekend since I got it on Friday, and it is the softest, warmest, most comfortable sweater I have ever had, and it is a full zip-up hoodie with the Eagle logo on the back. Go find it. Go get it. It is amazing. It'll keep you warm and comfy. By the way, we have not finished with the gaystapo. You see... Well, not the gaystapo. This is what are quilt bags? This is quilt bags now. This is full quilt bag service. Remember that Colorado Christian baker, Masterpiece Cakes? Yeah. Apparently, it's happened again. This time, somebody walked into his place and asked him to make a gender transition cake. You see, on Tuesday, the attorney for Jack Phillips, the owner of Masterpiece Cakes, the Colorado baker who would not make a wedding cake for a gay couple because of his devout Christian religious beliefs, was lambasted by the state of Colorado for continuing to, and they continued to target him for his beliefs. The remark in a federal court by lawyers from the ADF. The organization represents Phillips, the owner of Masterpiece Cake Shop. They were triggered by another case filed against Phillips, this time from a transgendered woman, which means a man with boobs, possibly, who wanted him to create a cake celebrating his gender transition. After hearing, Jim Campbell, an attorney for the ADF, stated, quote, "At this point, he's just a guy who is trying to get back to life. The problem is the state of Colorado won't let him." Before the hearing, the attorney Campbell stated, "The same agency that the Supreme Court rebuked as hostile to Jack Phillips remains committed to treating him unequally and forcing him to express messages that violates his religious beliefs. Jack serves all customers, and he is even happy to serve the attorney who lodged the complaint against him. But Jack doesn't create custom cakes to express messages or celebrate events in conflict with his deeply held beliefs." One current commissioner has publicly referred to Jack as a hater on Twitter, and one of several indications that the commissioner's ongoing bias against Jack and his beliefs. We're asking the federal courts to immediately stop Colorado's efforts to punish Jack in order to shield him from biased agencies and ensure that he is not forced to express messages that violate his faith. So Arizona, we've got two Christian female artists who are in court now, getting forced to do pretty much everything, getting forced for all that, for the gay rights things and all that mess. And now, Jack Phillips, same guy, you all know, this guy's been fighting this thing for years now. And it just so happens that now a man who wants to pretend to be a woman for the rest of his life asks Jack to go and make him a cake to celebrate him wanting to pretend to be a woman for the rest of his life and mutilating his body to a point of unreconcilable differences. And Jack said, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Your body is a temple of God, and you're defiling it, that sort of thing. Of course, I'm sure he didn't actually say that, but that's kind of where it goes with that. See, gender transitions are really just destroying the body that God gave you in multiple ways, chemically, physically. It's very harsh on the body overall. It's very damaging. It hurts in multiple ways. But besides that, let me ask you a question. If you hurt in multiple ways and you want to prolong your life, maybe you should go to saveyourheart.com. See, if you go to saveyourheart.com and you use the promo code MOJO, you get 10% off on your first order. Not only that, but with every order that they have a 6-month guarantee, basically. You take 1 jar a month for 6 months. Use it exactly as they tell you, and if you do not see results from the Pauling's Therapy Essential Formula, then they will give back all of your money 100%. You see, the reason why they came up with this is because your heart is the body's engine. And if your heart stops pumping, obviously, you're going to die. So there are things that you can do because, when your heart pumps, the arteries harden, plaque builds up inside of them, things like that causes heart attacks, strokes, everything else. And a lot of this is just because of malnutrition and overworking your body. Well, with the Pauling's Therapy Essentials formula, if I could get that right just once, I would be really happy. What it does is it supplements your body with all the nutrients and minerals and the essentials that your body needs that it doesn't get on a daily basis from the regular food that you eat anymore. And that helps clear out all the blockages. It helps soften the walls of your arteries, making it easier for the blood to flow and for those arteries to pump like they should. Once again, go to saveyourheart.com. Go to saveyourheart.com. Use the promo code MOJO and get 10% off on your first order at saveyourheart.com. So I know you guys have seen all the stuff going on and everything's been happening and all of this big hullabaloo about basically nothing. But apparently, Cindy Crawford is mortified. She is stricken with panic because Cindy Crawford. You remember Cindy Crawford, right? She's back in the day she was the deal, right? She was She was hot, as they would say. She was good looking, spicy stuff. But, today, not so much. You see, just recently, Cindy Crawford has, somebody mistaken her for Caitlyn Jenner. Let me see if I can get this image up here for you. But yeah, apparently, they mistaken Cindy Crawford for Caitlyn Jenner. If I can pull this up for you, yeah, you're gonna agree with the entire deal. So let me see if I can get this going here. All right, check it out. You tell me which one's which. Obviously, we all know which one is which, but they could be siblings. Cindy Crawford has aged worse for wear, as it were. I'm going to take that off the screen now. That's kind of scary. So, here's the story. Cindy Crawford, a world-famous supermodel, at last week's British Fashion Awards, multiple people confused Cindy Crawford with Caitlyn Jenner. I tell you what, she was at a world famous event, fashion awards in Britain, and They have multiple pictures, guys. You got to go look at it. It is amazing. You just have to look at it. It is horrible, terrible, no good, very bad things. But I had to share that with you because you know what? We've had so many things going wrong in this world. That is freaking amazing. How can you get those two confused? Maybe because Cindy Crawford doesn't look like Cindy Crawford anymore. Yeah, they're twinsies, Nicole. They are twinsies full force. It is scary. It is wrong. It is a horrible, horrible thing. And maybe they should stop wearing the same outfits. That might be the key. Just stop wearing the same outfits. That's the best I got for you. Anyway, so have you guys heard about the London thing? I know it's been going on in the news and everything else, but you know, over in London, there's been yeah, so much for a melon tonic. Yeah, melon tonic. I got it. It's good. All right, so they're over in London at the Gatwick airport. Apparently, for the past few days, there's been multiple drone sightings, closing all the airfields down. Basically, everything's been closed down. They haven't been able to get anything going. They haven't been able to get the airfields up because all of that mess has been closed because of a few drones. But here we go. British police say 2 people were arrested early Saturday morning for suspected criminal use of drones in the Gatwick airport case. This has created a nightmarish holiday travel delays for tens of thousands of passengers, including that one very wonderful couple who were from London that wanted to go to New York for their wedding anniversary or whatever. It's like, come on, you can pick something so much better than New York. Sussex police did not release the age or gender of 2 suspects arrested late Friday night and did not say where the arrests were made. The 2 have not been charged yet. Police Superintendent James Collis asked the public in Gatwick area to remain vigilant. Apparently, they've arrested 2 people, sort of, but they haven't actually booked any charges yet, so they may not have anything to go on. Quote, "Our investigations are still ongoing." You know what? I was thinking about doing a British accent for this, but I can't really do one right now. And our activities at the airport continue to build resilience to detect and mitigate further incursion from drones by deploying a range of tactics. You know, you guys could just kill the RC, you know, just kill the signal for RC stuff. It's not going to affect your junk. You can just drop that signal. It's okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do. Just that's all. Just there's a barrier, you know, and the moment that anything passes that barrier, it drops to the ground because there's no more signal reaching it. You could do that. It's very simple. Just takes a little bit of time. I know. Anyway, new drone sighting Friday had caused a fresh problem for the holiday travelers in the airport, which reopened in the morning and 36-hour shutdown. Only hastily suspended flights for more than an hour in the late afternoon on one of the busiest travel days of the year. The reopening, closing, and reopening of Britain's second busiest airport due to the repeat drone sightings raised a host of questions for British officials, including questions about how safe it is to fly with drones around and why it took so long to make an arrest. Well, it takes so long because you can make those things pretty long range. And, you know, if you make it long range enough, you can just kind of, you know, do it from wherever. The Friday night suspension of Gatwick caused still more delays and cancellations just as the holiday travel season peaked. The persistent drone crisis at Gatwick, located 30 miles south of London, had a ripple effect throughout the international air travel system. The latest drone sightings came after British police and transport officials said extra measures had been put in place to prevent drones from intruding into the airport, which serves 43 million passengers a year. That's actually a pretty big number for that sort of airport. That's good. Good job. 43 million passengers a year. Not bad. Chadwick? Not bad. Military forces with special equipment have been brought in, and police units are working around the clock. Police say a sophisticated drone operation targeted the airport that caused maximum disruption during the holiday rush. The motive of the drone invasion wasn't clear, but the British police said there are no indications it was terror-related, which means it probably was terror-related. Just saying. Gatwick reopened about 6 a.m. Friday after having been shut down on Wednesday night and all day Thursday after authorities said drones repeatedly violated the airport perimeter, threatening the safety of incoming and ongoing planes. Now, if the only way that it would actually threaten the safety of these planes is if it got into like a jet fan and it blew up one of the jet fans, one of the propellers. That's pretty much the only way that it could actually hurt a thing going in. I mean, it could crash into the windshield, and if it crashed into the windshield, then maybe that would be another cause for it. But at the same point in time, it's basically like a bird strike. Those things aren't that hard, unless they made them out of some sort of crazy metal, and they're not really going to do too much. But what are you going to do? Chatwick Airport. There you go. Not a big deal. Not even a big thing. But you know what? You need to go to charitymagnets.com. Use the promo code Mojo, get $5 off on any purchase. Promo code Mojo, $5 off, charitymagnets.com. You see, Charity Magnets, they've designed and produced beautiful, high-quality products. And it's for law enforcement supporters and enthusiasts around the world. Their community includes law enforcement professionals and their families, first responders, corrections officers, members of the military, private citizens dedicated to honor, integrity, and they help others in times of need. You see, a portion of every purchase gets donated to Cops for Kids with Cancer. And that organization by itself has donated more than $2.5 million to cancer research. Go to charitymagnets.com. Go and look at everything that they have. They've got the actual shields that you can place. They've got magnets. They've got keychains. They've got the plate stickers. They've got everything that you could think of as little ornaments to show that you support your police and that you support charities like Cops for Kids with Cancer. Go to charitymagnets.com. Use the promo code Mojo. Get $5 off on a purchase. I'm not going to close with this because I'm just going to tell you the story, and then we're going to close on something funny, guys. We need a couple laughs before the holiday season. We need to get a few chuckles in, but I have to tell you about this story. My wife shared it to me, and it's something crazy. So in Pennsylvania, nearly 2 decades after Pennsylvania state regulators let this man off the hook, a former pediatrician admitted in court on Thursday that he has sexually assaulted 31 children, most of them were his patients. The doctor of Johnstown pleading guilty to sexually abusing 2 family members and admitted to sexually assaulting more than 24 patients. This pedo pediatrician, his abuses spanned over decades, typically involving girls and boys between the ages of 8 to 12. One of the victims happened to only be 2 weeks old. He molested the children in the exam room in his pediatric association in his county and the local hospitals, according to the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. He's 71 now and was arrested in January and charged with groping a 12-year-old girl during an office visit several weeks earlier. Suspecting she might not be alone, the Attorney General's office put out a call for other accusers to come forward, and they did. All the way back to the 1980s. The sad thing is, assault on a minor like this, sexual assault violations. I mean, I think on a minor you can never get away from it, but sexual assault has like a 20-year track. You can't do it anymore. You can't be charged for it anymore, I think. I don't know if it's with kids or not. That may be a thing, like they just keep it forever, but quote, they came to their pediatrician seeking care. Instead, they were victimized by a serial sex abuser hiding in a doctor's coat. Attorney General Josh Shapiro, I don't think he's related to Ben, said in a videotape statement released after the plea. The doctor, whose medical license was suspended, remained behind bars, pending the sentencing on multiple counts of aggravated indecent assault, child endangerment, and other offenses. Quote, what happened today was good for everybody because without a public acknowledgement of wrongdoing, there will be no healing, said the doctor's lawyer. Quote, this way, the healing could begin for his family, his victims, and for himself. Honestly, I don't want healing for him. Sounds harsh, I know. But I want him castrated, and I want him sent to the worst prison known to man or to be put on death row. I mean, I understand, people say, I can forgive him for what he's done. It is a wrong, and he can be forgiven. He can be forgiven by God. And this didn't happen to me and my family. But if it did, I hope I would be able to forgive this man. But that doesn't mean that he shouldn't have justice served to him. To be forgiven doesn't mean you get to forgo justice. Not in this world. Not in this life. The only one who can forgive and withhold judgment is God. So this man, with his life, he's 71. There's no reason to put him behind bars. He won't last anyway. Either castrate him and put him in jail, which is still going to make sure that he's going to live for the next 30 years. Or put him on death row. Put him on the short list. This man should not be around people. He should not be around children. This man should be facing full justice. Quote, after some 20 years, I'm glad it's finally over and he can't do it again. He's a real sicko. That came from one of the families. This guy, it's not something I would ever want to get involved in. And I hope it never happens to any of you out there. But anything related to justice that comes to this man, he deserves every single bit of it. Every single one. And now that we got that out, okay, we got that off our chest. We got everything done there. I'm done. You know what? It's Christmas weekend. You won't see me until after Christmas. I will be back on live next Wednesday night. So you guys won't see me until right after Christmas, and then you'll see me on New Year's. So that's what's going to happen. And between now and then, there's not going to be any live shows on the network. Well, there might be a few live shows like mine, but there's not going to be any live shows from the main guys until, what, Thursday or something? It's crazy. I mean, come on, guys. Slackers. What are they doing? Ha! Except for Ron. Ron is working his butt off right now behind the scenes. So, let's get to some Florida Man stories, because we haven't talked Florida Man for a while, and you know what? That's what we're going to do. Headline: Lemur jumps out of a Florida man's car after a traffic stop on I-4. See, the Florida man who was hauling multiple exotic animals, including a lemur, wallaby, tortoise, a goat, a parrot, and a sheep, was arrested for DUI. Oh, God. What was he going to do with those things? So a man's driving down the street with a lemur, wallaby, tortoise, goat, parrot, and a sheep. Cop pulls him over, says, "Hey man, why the long face?" Oh gosh, no, that's so... Oh, come on. When confronted by the FHP, The lemur jumped out and nearly ran onto the road before the officers were able to grab it. I'm just going to leave that there. Florida man calls 911 and tells them, quote, "Take me to jail, you mother..." That's right. Florida man requested to go to jail, and it was honored on Sunday after making multiple 911 calls. When the police arrived, the Florida man yelled, come take me to jail, you mother beep. There's no emergency here, and I called 911. Wow. What is up with this guy? I kind of want to know more about this. As the officer asked Meadows to come out of his bedroom into the living room area, he yelled, "Are you scared of me, you beep beep?" The officers walked into his bedroom and placed him under arrest. On the way to the Indian River County Jail, Meadows cursed out the officers and stated that he was going to attack and spit on me once they arrived to their destination. Last September, Meadows was arrested for puncturing his neighbor's tires, and last year he was arrested at Walmart after calling 911 multiple times and said the employees were calling him a child molester. So this is a man with many problems. Pretty much, he's probably on some very, very good drugs. Here you go. Check out this one. Florida man caught trying to steal multiple purple sex toys. That's right, you heard me. Multiple purple sex toys. See, a person accused of swiping purple sex toys may not be picking up good vibrations after being arrested, according to an affidavit. Jesse Ernest Thomas, 38, was jailed on a theft charge after a November 14th alleged intimate items imbroglio at a CVS off of US 1. Wow. The case began when the man, later identified as Thomas, was thought to have taken a whole box of purple condoms. They then found out that he had gone to the bathroom, and what he had actually gotten was a whole box of purple vibrators. Purple vibrators. That man knows how to party, doesn't he? Oh my goodness. Oh, and don't forget, there was also a Florida man that ran out in the middle of December into a big old festival of lights and said that Santa is not real, dressed as Santa Claus. He was arrested, taken to jail for that. Of course, Santa isn't real, but that's probably not the best way for those children to learn. No, his name was not Prince. If that was the case, it would have just been that little sign symbol thing that he makes his name Prince. You know, that whole thing. Anyway, Merry Christmas, you jackholes. This is the Defenders of American Exceptionalism, soon to be the Defenders Live. Find us here on Mojo 50. Stay free. Live free. See you after Christmas, folks. Bye-bye.